Brandon, I'm coming to you with this now.
Okay.
Could you shed some light on the grandfathering clause, which I feel, in the light of the program expiring in September of 2026, and
Mhm.
other protections for the EB-5 investors?
Yeah, so there's always been this fear out there that if I'm an EB-5 investor and I invest today, that U.S. immigration could change the rules on me tomorrow, and that would adversely impact my EB-5 process. And so, in order to address that, Congress put a provision in the Reform and Integrity Act to say, okay, if you move forward with your EB-5 and file it prior to September 30th, 2026, if U.S. immigration tries to change the rules in the future, you're exempt from those rule changes. So basically, if you invest and file prior to, this time next year, then you're exempt from future rule changes if USCIS were to attempt something like that. So it provides. I'll take a little bit of a contrarian view. I don't think grandfathering is everything, but it is at least an attempt again by Congress to provide some reassurance to EB-5 investors that the U.S. government is going to process them in a fair and even-handed manner going forward.
And Nirul, since we are on that topic, can you also shed light on the bad actor provision introduced by RIA, and also can the executive action of the president impact EB-5 in any way or change the laws in any way?
Yeah, so I'll actually answer your second question first, just because it's a little bit shorter. So, we're not going to see any changes to EB-5 through an executive order. I mean, this was a law that was enacted by Congress, and only Congress can repeal this law. And it's not something that I would expect anytime soon. I don't think any of us would expect this anytime soon. I mean, we have to remember that this brings so much economic development, job creation, and free money at no cost to the U.S., to these Congress people's districts, and to their people. And then in terms of the bad actor provision, again, I think the RAA was centered around protecting investors against some of these more marginal regional centers, right? And
Right.
so if there is fraud or misrepresentation now, these investors are protected. They're able to pivot to a new project, retain their priority date, and continue going with the process, which otherwise wasn't there before.
Great.
I have something
Thanks
to just add on, pivoting off what Neeraj just said. I think we all recognize clearly that the president is a businessman at heart. There's no two ways about that. I think money coming in is never going to get turned away by him. I think for those of us in the industry, I think we also know that clearly there are people close to his orbit who do use the EB-5 and do raise monies in the EB-5 and I'm sure that they have some communications with say, hey, this is how much we're raising. This is how much we're getting. That's another reason why I don't think EB-5 is going to go anywhere away. I think it's here to stay. And I think most people have found very good use for it. And therefore, it's going to be there.
I agree with that. And also, I guess the next 1 year will be interesting because the program is due to lapse in September 30th, 2026, which will obviously spike demand. And also there is so much political storm everywhere about the immigrant community. But also the other thing is that there is a provision of increasing the investment amount every 5 years at the rate of at the inflation rate. So we can expect EB-5 around January of 27 to cost like maybe $900,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you take into account cumulative thing. Any thoughts on that?
Oh, I think somebody recently in Miami, just a couple of weeks ago, threw out the figure of about $937,000
Right.
as of January.